you kind of like to start straight across, but most patterns make you start on an angle. Like when I made this one here, I had to start it on the angle and work my way down. But now when I got to the bottom, I could angle it or I could have done it straight. This one here, I would have loved to have started it straight across. That way when I got to the end, I wouldn't have had such a knotty mess. This one here started on the angle because being a square, you have to start it on the angle. So that one was okay that way. Then I also have this one here, which is a real neat little coaster. This is a pattern I got off of YouTube. It's done this way, and you actually start it here, and you come this quadrant, then this quadrant, this quadrant, and then that quadrant. So what I like to show, like I said, mostly for me, so I can do a quick reference, is to do one straight across. Now normally if you put a pattern here, say like this one, you'd put your pins here and you'd work your way down this way, and you'd work your way this way and work your spider. But I don't want to do this one on an angle. The one I'm working on now at my shop, I have a picture of it, I can show you. I wanted to start it straight across, and as you can see on the sample, the first one I did, I had to do it on the angle. The second one I did do it straight across by looking on YouTube and finding the one video that I had seen about 6-8 months ago. But anyway, I'm going to do one here. First, you want to set your pins in your first spot. I'm going to do them on a little bit of an angle because the way the light shadows are, they'll get in your way. And I've also enlarged this one, so it'll be a little bit extra big. And I'm not sure if I'll be able to do them all the way across, but we'll see how many I've got, because I've found a bunch of them, so I will be able to actually start working on it. There's only 2 stitches in bobbin lace. There's a cross and a twist. Now the one that I want to go horizontally across, it has to start on the left, because by the time you cross and twist them, they're going to switch positions. So first we do a twist where I just put one over the other, and that way we got kind of like a little bit of a knotty effect at the top. So now we're going to do the cross, which is bobbin number 2 over bobbin number 3, and then bobbin number 2 and bobbin number 4 over 1 and 3, and then 2 over 3. Even though they're different colors, this bobbin in this position is always 2, and this bobbin in this position is always 3. So then you pull it tight, and then you do one last twist. I just go like this, quick and easy. All right, so now this one will go this way while this one will go this way. But I need to have more bobbins because there's not enough to do the work. So let me grab another yellow bobbin and have to do the same thing. I have to put the bobbin on the outside because the outside is going to switch to the inside. So let's do a twist. So we're ready to go. So we're going to do cross, twist, cross. And if you want to do your other twist at this point, does the same thing other than doing this way. Both will work. Okay, so now I got those ready. So the next one we're going to do is put another twist in this one, and then put the red one over the next pin, over one pin, and cross it. Now let me get another color. I'm doing them in different colors so we can tell them apart. So we make sure we're in the right position. Now you can do them all in the same color and it'll never show. You won't be able to tell. Okay, now this time I'm going to use blue. I'm going to do a twist. So now I've got my red to the left and my blue to the right, and when I'm done, my blue will be over here. So we do a cross, twist, cross, and pull it tight. And if you want, you can twist it here, or before you pull it tight, do it there. Okay, so that one's ready. Now we got to do one more blue one. You see how the red is going across, so you know you're in the right position. Okay, let's get another one up. Same thing, we're going to do a twist. Then we do cross, twist, cross, pull it tight, and then twist them around. The next one I'll twist the other way. Now here we got to do 2 twists on this one, so I write it at 1, so there's 2. Bring this one over here, and then cross over. Let's choose another color. Let's choose orange. Orange is good. When you put these over your bobbins the correct way, you have the ability to open them up and pull threads out, or undo it and tighten your threads back up. So say I went too far, I can tighten this up. I just loosen it with my fingers, put my finger inside, and then go like this, and now it's tightening up. Or you can go like this and loosen it. So you can work with them while they're still on the bobbins. You don't have to undo them. Okay, let's put the orange one here. Twist. Now let's do our whole stitch. Cross, twist, cross. We can do the other twist. Pull it tight. Now we'll get the other orange one. Do the same thing. Twist. Now, I need a little bit more red thread, so I'm going to pull it like that, and I can loosen up some more threads, so now they're even again. So it's cross, twist, twist, and pull it tight, and you want to make sure all the others are nice and snug too. That's why a lot of times I do the twist after the fact. It gives me a chance to snug them up before. All right, and then the second twist there, yarn over and twist. Okay, let's see, we'll try green next. I don't have enough bobbins done to go all the way across. So we'll do the green. Cross, twist, cross, pull it tight, twist. Another green. Cross, twist, cross, pull it tight, and another twist. Now those are all set. Now I only have one more set of bobbins left, so I'm going to cut this off. Oh, I do have enough bobbins to go across, so let me add another pin here. Oh no, we're having that one. So we're going to add the black ones next. Cross, twist, cross, pull tight, and a twist. Put the other one, black one. Cross, twist, cross, pull tight, and another twist. Okay, so those are in good shape. And one more twist. And we're going to put one more there. We only need one there because see, we have one extra one here, I think. Well, I'll just go ahead and add one more. I'm pretty sure I need this one, so let me add one more. Cross, twist, cross. Okay, so now we're all set to go across. Now, when you do this, at this point, you either can work across this way. Let me put these like this. You can work across this way and connect going like this, or you can work across this way and connect going like this. Now I don't need these extra two. Let me trim that last one off. Now we're going to go ahead and start. Oh, let me put this pin back. Didn't mean to take it out. Okay, now we're going to start on this side. So we put all of our bobbins this direction. Now we don't work with the first one because there's nothing to hook the first one to. Let me enlarge this like this so you can actually see the pattern itself. So we're going to put that aside. I'm going to use this one and this one. You know you're correct if you cross it over and you get a nice X. If you grab the wrong one, say this one by mistake, see, it doesn't make an X. You want to make sure you have a nice X. So let's start with it. We do cross, twist, cross, pull, set a pin in the dot, and then repeat, cross, twist, cross. And then you want to do one more twist. Okay, now we do this one over here because now we got to finish this one. Since this is an edge one, you want to add a couple extra twists to it because you got to fill in that extra space. So it's cross, twist, cross, pull it snug, not all the way up, just enough to get to where the pin is going to go in. Cross, twist, cross, and then the other twist. Okay, so now you're done with that one. So that pin is done. If you want, you can put a straight pin in to hold it off to your side. Now like this, you can just put a straight pin in to hold it. I know it's off camera. All right, we're not going to touch this one now. This one we're not going to touch because see that one lines up with that hole and that one lines up there. So now we're going to take this one because it'll do that one when we do a cross. But now we can't do that one yet because we got this one up here to do. So we'll use these two instead because that'll make the cross here. Cross, twist, cross, set a pin, cross, twist, cross. Okay, now we can go down to this one. Cross, twist, cross, set a pin, cross, twist, cross, and another twist. Okay, now we'll grab this one because we'll do that one because you always go down on a diagonal. And now we can pull this one out and bring this one back over because now we're ready to do the edge. So do a couple extra twists, cross, twist, cross. There we go. And as you can see, it's starting to form. Now we go back again. See, we can't do this one because we got to do this one. And that one has to cross over with the green one. My dots are not exactly perfect. Put the green aside, and now we got to do the two oranges. Add a little more thread. Cross, twist, cross. Now after I get down to the end on this one, I'm going to go to the other side and do a different stitch. This is called a hole stitch or cloth stitch. I'm going to do what they call a half stitch next. And you might be able to see the difference between the two. I'll enlarge the picture a little bit. Hopefully you'll be able to see the difference. Let me get these last couple done. Now the last one, the extra two twists. Now this one is done with the half stitch. As you can see, there's only one twist around each of the little holes. You can see a little bit different. When you look at these, let me enlarge it for you. See, it's a nice, you can see good on the blue one, more of a rectangular shape because you're putting a hole stitch on this side and a hole stitch on this side. So when you do this one, you're not going to do quite as many stitches on it, and that gives you a different look. And if you're doing a fine thread with a very close knit set of dots, like these are, compared to those, you can see they're a lot closer together. You may want to just do the half stitch. So I'll do the half stitch on the other side. Let me get all these over here because we're no longer using them. Okay, now we come over to this one. Same thing, we're not going to bother with this one yet because it's a side piece. So we want to do this one. And a half stitch is cross twist only. Set a pin, cross twist. Now you see when you do it, the threads are already twisted. At this point, you don't have to add the extra twist. Now do two twists here because this is the corner, cross twist only. Set a pin, cross twist. Okay, and that one's done. We'll set it aside for now. Okay, let's go over here. this is our next row. So we're going to take this green one, cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. That's all you're going to do. And you can do it again, cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist, and again, cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. And now this one, we add the extra couple of twists on it, cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. And we do one more over here, and then we can see what the two look like, because I can enlarge it a little bit. Let me get these out of the way. So this is the next one. You can tell because it's right here between these two. So see, now I can do this and continue this way, or I can do it and continue this way. But they're always done on an angle. Unless you're doing some of the decorative stitches, and then they're done a little bit different. Cross, twist. We do it again, cross, twist. Cross, twist, cross, twist, cross, twist, cross, twist, cross, twist. And now the last one, the extra two twists, cross, twist, set a pin, cross, twist. Okay, so let me pull these down. Try to get them out of the way a little bit. Now, let's see if we can see one of these. Let me move this pin, these pins this way, so you have a better look at the ones behind it. Now, as you can see with these, let me get a couple of these pins out of the way too, so you can really see. There. When you see here, you've got the stitches above it and stitches below it, and it makes like a little rectangle. When you look at this one, you don't have the stitches above it and the stitches below it, so you don't really get the rectangle. It's just a little tight stitch. And we pull this one out. You can see the difference between the half stitch here and the cloth stitch here. And sometimes you want to have the bigger stitches because you have bigger spaces in between. Sometimes you want to do the half because you don't have enough room to do a full cloth or hoe stitch. I hope this helps some of you. It's definitely going to help me, because when I get ready to do my next piece, I'm not going to have to try to find the other one on YouTube. I'll have one right here on my YouTube. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, let me know, and I can show you some other patterns that I've got. Or if you're not interested, that's perfectly fine too, because you can always watch the other ladies. They're awesome. And if you like mine, just subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit notification when my next video comes out. Now if I take all the pins out, because within a few minutes after doing it, you can actually get the pins out, and the yarn pretty much stays in place, which is good. Also, if you're working on a pattern that requires you to move down, after you finish this, you take all the pins out and slide your pattern up and repin the top, and you can continue making a continuous design without moving your pattern, just moving your actual piece. Let me get these last few pins out. And you can see, let me move this over. You can see is straight across the top, not the triangular shape like this one has, because it was done this way. And then you would, as you can see, the pattern zigzag back and forth around the spiders. But this one is just straight across. So when you bring around the other side as you're working it, you come to here, you can actually tie into these loops from the other end and have one continuous looking piece and not have to worry about sloppy joins like my first one I showed you it did.